Okay, so it is Reptiman 100 here. As you can tell, former cockroach cage. You can see the cockroach back there. Taking this off because my mom used to bring it into school. Not anymore. And I'm not gonna let her take these guys into school. Too valuable. I like them too much. So anyway, this will be a video on how to care for Italian wall lizards. I don't know if this will help anybody because I think they're really new to market. Like, I've seen one vendor that has had them at the NARBC Expo. That's where I got these guys. Okay, so first off, this will be a long video. And so, okay, starting with enclosure. You're gonna want something that's disproportionately large for the number of animals you're keeping. Usually you should keep 1 male to 2 females. More than 1 male, they will start fighting. An all-screen enclosure is best for these guys. You want to have it taller rather than wide. Height matters more than floor space, but you still gotta have a reasonable amount of floor space. So, you know. But, yeah, so I guess that's one part of the caging. Second part, you're gonna need a full spectrum bulb. What I have here, I hope this doesn't wake them because it takes a while for them to sleep. There's some crickets in here, as you can tell. Well, I don't know, really. Here's my full spectrum dual compact light bulb thing. This is a Reptiglow 5.0 26 watt, and this is Reptiglow 13 watt. Cause these guys are so new, no care sheets, nothing. We didn't know how hot to keep it. You should keep them around, I keep mine at around 80 degrees. So, this is just a temporary enclosure, best enclosure for 3 of them, a trio, which is what you should be keeping them as. 30 inches tall, 16 inches by 16 inches wide and deep. Because they, as their name suggests, they are wall lizards. They're pretty arboreal. They do burrow at first if you don't give them enough hiding spots. I used to have that log in there, but I've just stripped it down because since they do burrow, I put that in after they started burrowing, so I was afraid I might have crushed one of them. Don't worry, I didn't. There's still 3 healthy, happy lizards in there. But this log used to be in Steve's cage, in which I now have like a fossil thing. It's not real, don't worry. These guys, pretty hard to find. They are on the European list for endangered reptile species, which means they are illegal if you have them as pets, but only if they are wild caught. So these are captive bred, and since it was recent, they've been established in a lot of places like New York City, or New York, that area, East Coast, because they do well there. They brumate in the winter. So that's it for caging and lighting. For substrate, you're going to want to use bark chips. These are all natural coconut bark chips that I got off of a guy at the NARBC Expo. So they're excellent for these guys. One, because As you can tell, I just let crickets free roam in here. So if you shouldn't have too many in there at one time. Like, put a couple in there. If they eat them all, put a couple more. If there's like 2 or 3 running around, that's okay, because they'll finish them off pretty quickly. But anyway, like nearly 0 risk of impacting, because these do not fit in their mouths. But you always want to watch them when they're feeding, so if they do get like a piece, say that big, in their mouths, you could just pull it out right away. Humidity-wise, or, yeah, I guess this should have been with lighting, but humidity-wise, I keep mine at around 60 to 70%. 60% because the water bowl is in there. That's just a medicine cap. It needs to be very shallow. I'm just playing it safe. I don't know if it can be deep, but, you know, they do drink out of their water bowl. But you should mist them daily, once a day at least, because they'll lick droplets off their body, as well as drinking out of their water bowl, which I've witnessed. Okay, so I guess that's it for substrate. On to food and water. Start off with water since I've been talking about it. Not tap water, but I'm sure all of you about tile keepers on YouTube, you're all pretty experienced, except for all you new people. There's not many though. Usually new people don't start YouTube channels, but I did, because I'm cool like that. But anyway, that water bowl is probably like a ½ inch deep, and it was empty within like 3 hours or so. And so you have to refill it often if it's not a large water bowl. The water bowl that I bought for them is probably about 4 to 6 inches. No, 4 or 5 inches in diameter. It's as shallow as that. It's like a dragon sort of thing, if you saw it in my other video, so it's also rough, so they could rub up against it and stuff. And food, like I said, they're mainly insectivores, like in my last video. They're mainly insectivores, so crickets, oh god, it woke up. Oh boy. I feel kind of bad now because I woke it up. Probably hears me talking. It's not funny. That was my mom. See, they think it's a joke, but it's not. But, you know, anyway. Food. I don't dust my crickets. You might want to when they're babies, because they might grow pretty fast. I bought mine as adults. I don't feel the need to calcium dust my crickets for these guys. I know what calcium deficiency looks like, so I'll start calcium dusting them if I see they have a calcium deficiency or anything like that, or put some multivitamins in their water or something, or some calcium in their water, stuff like that. So, you know, just watch out for that, because since these are new in the market, there's basically no care sheets. I'm probably one of the first people to actually post a care video on them on YouTube. I have looked. Okay, food. I've talked about food, water, caging, substrate, heat, light, all that stuff. Okay, decor. You're gonna want a lot of plants to climb on because they like to hide, and they like to climb too. If you have, wherever you have hiding spaces, that's where they'll be. but since I've stripped it, oh my gosh. I don't know how to pause it, so you might want to teach me that. So that way I could like add clips together.
Just to stop and start. And you could edit.
Okay.
Why are you doing this without the light on?
Because it's her bedtime. That was my dad. So basically, lighting schedule, like you just want to have it on when the sun comes up, or basically since my Beardy is on 9 to 9, I'll probably keep these guys on 9 to 9, but it's usually just when I wake up. So a little extra, you know, lighting. So back to food, I'll probably calcium dust my crickets, probably just a couple of them every day, just so, you know. Okay, so back to decor. Have a lot of hiding spaces on the ground, have a lot of hiding spaces high up. If you keep them in a glass terrarium like this, which is not the best for them, it can be done, it will not hurt them or anything like that, but they do need space to climb, and having a screen cage helps with that. So just make sure that like you have like a background so they could climb on that, because they are wall lizards, like to be up high places. So I guess that's it. The only thing is, okay, now the actual lizard. They get about 4 to 6 inches long, depending on the sex. The tails account for half to 5/8 of their total body length. They're not a handleable. Oh my gosh, I hate that word. Lizard. They're a look but don't touch pet. They're very skittish. So, you know, I'd classify these guys as beginner to intermediate, but not like super intermediate, just like slightly intermediate, because you can't handle them, which makes it a whole lot harder. And they burrow, so you gotta be careful where you put your decor. And they're very skittish, and so that might mean that they stress easily. So, you know, and just because of lighting and humidity and stuff. But I would recommend them as beginner pets for someone my age, or I'd say someone 10 to probably 17 or 18. These are good beginner lizards for them. Anything younger than 10, I'd recommend adult supervision with them at all times, because although if they bite, it will not hurt because they are small lizards. You might stress the lizards out. You could break off pieces of their tail. I don't know if they twist and rip their skin like some geckos do, but you know, you just gotta be careful. So I'm gonna end this video before it gets too long. I'll post another one soon.